Shalom, shalom, Israel. Peace, love, and salutations to the hopeful elect. Shalom to the men and women who are rehearsing the righteous acts. Shalom to you. Before we get started, I want to give all praises, all glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rahakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS who are preaching and teaching this truth with humility and sincerity across the four corners of the world to you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Indigenous of the Americas. In case you didn't know, Yahweh is the true ancient Hebrew name who the world ignorantly calls God. Yahweh, meaning He is, He exists. Yahweh Shai is the only begotten Son who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. Yahweh Shai, meaning He saves, He delivers. Bahasham is coming in the name. And Rahakwadash is the Holy Spirit. Okay. Don't have a title for this video yet, but I'm sure I'll find a title once I get done with this video. But it is based on, the wickedness of Yasharala, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Indigenous of the America, and how Yahweh, is bringing judgment as we speak, starting with the Northern Kingdom, right? And you are starting to see this judgment all across the world. You're seeing this judgment across different demographics that look like other people as well. Okay, I believe he's bringing down judgment on Edom as well. Other heathen nations are feeling the wrath, right? Because Jacob's trouble, they sold it in a package really nice and enticed people when they saw the DJ talking about these so-called illegal migrants, how they were the prey that they were supposed to be sacrificed, right? And everybody was rubbing their hands together, all the wicked at least. Oh yeah, we're gonna blame everything on them. We're gonna start, getting rid of them and destroying them, right? Not knowing that they're going to fall in that trap themselves, right? So let's get started here. Isaiah 30:1. Woe to the rebellious children, said Yahweh, that take counsel, but not of me, that cover with a covering, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin. Okay? And those rebellious children is talking about the nation of Yasharala. Okay? You Hebrew Israelites. Okay? That take counsel of the world and not of Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai. Right? You want to heed and hearken into what the world and what their ideals are. Right? You want to take counsel from them, but not of Yahweh. And you want to cover yourself with a covering of Egypt, right? Because we know this is spiritual Egypt, Sodom, and Babylon here in America, all right? But not of my spirit, and that spirit is the Rahakwadash, okay? That spirit is the Holy Spirit, right? And that Holy Spirit is the gift, and that gift only comes with the true 100% true gospel, which comes with the true name. All right, there's no way around it. There's only one way to receive the gift, is by receiving this 100% true gospel that's been taught by the apostles and elders of Great Millstone for the last 50 years. There's no way to receive this 100% true gospel without showing respect to the true ancient Hebrew name of Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai. Okay? In order to receive the Rahakwadash, you have to receive this 100% true gospel, not 80%, not 95, not 98.5. It's got to be the 100%. Okay. And that's where a lot of the wicked and the rebellious go wrong, right? They think they could just take a couple little things and mix up their own recipe. It don't work that way. That's blasphemous to do that, right? You're being lukewarm at that point. Okay, let's continue reading here. Isaiah 30:3. Therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame, and the trust in the shadow of Egypt your confusion. Okay, the strength of Pharaoh be your shame. And just like in the times of Egypt, Pharaoh was the king at that time of that whole empire. Okay, and just like you got kings today in Babylon the Great, here America, which is spiritual Egypt, Sodom, and Babylon, right? Shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame? And that's exactly what's starting to happen. The shame has come upon them. And, they made their bed and now they got to sleep in it, right? You know, they trusted in the shadow of here, Babylon. Okay. They trusted in the shadow of Egypt, the house of bondage. Okay. They did the little voting, etc. Because that's who they trust in. They trust in the Pharaoh. And now they're feeling the shame, right? They're feeling the shame and they're feeling confusion, right? To make an example, this is an older post of this individual. Spirit led me to do this video, watching this character right here, this damn wicked heathen right here, and judgment came on him, right? I know some of the brothers probably heard of this guy, the Johnny Novello. He was an immigrant, right? And major, supporter. You already know. And this guy, had a social media post and, would constantly put up memes of migrants, getting, you know, dying or, horrible scenes of migrants getting harassed or even dying. And this guy was making memes out of it, thought it was a joke, thought it was funny, right? He glorified that, which I believe this guy's a damn Edomite. I just believe that in the spirit. I read a little bit of the history of him. So not only is this fool a damn immigrant himself, later became I believe he became a citizen. I think it was in Canada. Give me 1 second here. Yeah, a Canadian citizen. Later on, became a Canadian citizen, and ended up getting caught by the by ICE and dying in the facilities. Salaki for that. Okay, overweight, probably really bad health. Either way, that was judgment by Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, and that's what you're seeing every day, more and more, right? And this guy was praising and just happy as could be, putting post every day memes, when his ass himself was and his ass is actually a damn criminal. And I got, I fact checked that, and they do got him as having charges in the past of drug trafficking and racketeering. So not only is this wicked heathen right here was an immigrant himself, but a damn criminal. Okay, this guy was a damn criminal, and it shouldn't be no surprise, right? The moral compass of people nowadays, the ethics, you shouldn't be too surprised that this guy was a damn, drug trafficker and a criminal, right? But here he is, supporting the DJ, the Pharaoh, saying, yeah, yeah, go ahead and, kill these people, put them to detention camps and so forth. And look what ended up happening to this dude, right? Here we go right here. Let's read it right here. Mr. Noviello entered the United States in 1988 with a legal visa status and became a lawful permanent resident in 1991. The agency said in October 2023 he was convicted of charges of racketeering and drug trafficking in Volusia County, Florida, and was sentenced to a year in prison. Okay? So this guy's a real dirtbag, you know what I'm saying? A damn criminal, talking about other people should be, sent to concentration camps, should be held by ICE. Man, here he is, an immigrant himself, a damn criminal at that, and ends up, getting judged by Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, right? His death came as ICE agents have made sweeping arrests across the United States as part of the President Trump's crackdown on immigration. Mr. Trump has issued several executive orders this year aimed at deporting millions of undocumented immigrants. And ICE arrests in courts, restaurants, hotels, and factories have prompted widespread protests. Okay? And like I said, this was a older thing that happened already. About, I think it was June 26th, what I remember reading. But again, the Spirit led me to do this video and talk about how, this snare that he thought was made for someone else, he ended up falling into the snare himself. Okay, that narcissistic, that prideful spirit got him caught up in that snare, right? To the point where he died. Okay. And that's what's going on right now, across the nation. Okay. Let's go here to Psalms 141 and 10. Let the wicked fall into their own nets. Whistles that I withal escape. Okay. Let the wicked fall into their own nets. And that's exactly what happened to this dude right here. Right? They were talking about this net for certain individuals, the most vulnerable demographics they could find. And everybody was all good when it was that most vulnerable, big group of people just rubbing their fingers together. Oh, yeah. Oh, man, this is going to be good. Let's get them. Now, don't get me, though. Don't get me. Let's get them. Right? And what ends up happening, he falls in the ice net. Right? Ends up passing away. Right? Give me 1 second here. I wanted to get the NLT version. Let the wicked fall into their own nets, but let me escape. Okay? Let the wicked fall into their own nets, but let me escape. Right? And that's what we need to be praying to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Right? Let the wicked fall into their own nets. And that's what's going on. A lot of these damn heathens, these wicked, you know, Israelites, whether they be 2/3, whether they be tares, or even Edomites, they're starting to fall in their own nets, right? And that's the devil for you, right? So them fools, they just got outranked by a bigger, higher ranking demon over them, right? They got suckered, they got played like this damn dude right here that I just showed you, right? This dude got played like a sucker and ended up, feeling the wrath of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. And can you imagine his face when he's getting locked up? All them stupid memes he would put up, all the memes he would put up, kissing this dude's ass and so forth. Ended up in the damn cage himself, right? And this is just one example, right? You got, I think it's like 120 people, the death toll right now in Texas with this flood. Okay, they say you got churches that got completely, flooded with dozens of people in it. As judgment by Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai on all these narcissistic, self-righteous heathens out there, man. These damn people that don't give a damn about nobody but themselves, man. The very selfish spirit out here in Babylon the Great. A bunch of damn me, myself, and I motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? That's all they care about. And that's who's getting dealt with right now. Okay? You got Medicaid about to lose the full. I think they're just going to have a partial now. But, you're going to have some people that are relying on that full benefit of that Medicaid, right? So now they're crying. Now they're worried. Now they're like, man, this ain't right. But it was right. And y'all was, rubbing your hands together like you're going to have this big ass feast again on the most vulnerable demographics. That's who they went after. But it's all good when we go after the most vulnerable demographics, right? It's all good. That's pathetic, man. That just lets you know the weak mind of that. They claim about bully this, bully that, and that's what exactly happened there, man. There's a bunch of selfish motherfuckers out here, man. Excuse my language, but that's what it is. Okay, selfish bastards. You know what I mean? That's Babylon for you, man. Nobody give a fuck about them, anybody else but themselves, man. Then that's the 100. Okay, that's 100% facts, and nobody could prove me wrong when it comes to that. Okay, except you be the true men of the Lord, right? Starting with the apostles, elders of Great Millstone, men that, have this 100% understanding and know the true name and know the true image and the will, the 100% will of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. Okay? And know who the heathens are, even within our own nation. Okay? You even got white farmers right now, so-called white farmers complaining and crying about their farmlands, about to get repossessed, about to lose their land and so forth. Let's go there real quick. It's a quick little glimpse here that I found. White farmers furious as black workers refuse farm labor. Now they're losing their farms, right? That was another trap set by the devil, the devil with the forked tongue, symbolizing, hey, I'm going to say one thing, but I'm going to do the other, right? And they fell, like we just got done reading, in the net. They fell in that snare themselves. Okay, let's hear what.
I have no one to work my farm. I do not understand this, and I know that this was not what Donald Trump meant to happen. I know that he doesn't want us good Trump supporter folks suffering, but we are. Donald Trump, please reverse this. I'm a white person. Hold on, so let me get this straight. The white farmers in Louisiana, they're mad because people of color won't come work on their farms for $11 an hour in 100-degree heat for 10 plus hours a day. Let me run that back. White farmers are mad. The very farmers that voted Republican, okay, they voted for this, are mad that people of color won't come work on their farms for $11 an hour in 100-degree heat for 10 plus hours a day. I'm saying you get what you ask for. Hey, it's FAFO type shit, okay? But hey, don't be fooled. I feel like it's gonna come to a point where they're finna make people get on their farms. Don't count me to it. Because if 2025 was a checklist,
imagine being able.
Right. So, like you heard, yeah, I won't doubt it either. They're getting ready to really, go into some drastic measures into like old chattel slavery, man. They could be done. They've already been talking about using these migrants to force labor in some of these concentration camps. Okay. So I wouldn't be too surprised. Okay. So, that's that selfish spirit here that's flowing around in Babylon. You know, that as long as it ain't me, if I'm okay, they can keep taking care of me. That's all that matters, man. As long as I can take care of myself, my family. Hey, I ain't that person or that person ain't me. I don't give a damn. With that same selfish, arrogant, prideful spirit are the ones who are falling into that snare themselves. And everybody's falling into it. And that's a beautiful work by Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Beautiful. Okay? For all these selfish, arrogant bastards out there. You know? Some of them damn people wishing the downfall, not knowing that those might be their brethren. And some of these damn heathen nations, well, they're just heathens as it is. They're gonna be that like that regardless. We know that, right? Okay. They're falling into the snare, like we just got done reading here in Psalms 141 and 10. Let the wicked fall into their own nets. Let the wicked fall into their own nets. Okay, and that's exactly what's going on. Why? Because they relying on Egypt, on Babylon. Okay, they're relying on Egypt and Babylon. Therefore, shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame. Now you're feeling embarrassed, right? And you heard that one Edomite lady right there, straight up told you. She said, "Hey, I'm white. You can't be doing this to me." And that's 100% fact. How she's expressing that. That's the way they sold it to her, not knowing that, she got outranked by a bigger, higher demon and got played. So these Edomites are feeling it as well, man. These damn Edomites are feeling the wrath of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. And this is just a little bit of a scratch in the surface. This ain't nothing to what's getting ready to come. Okay? And some of these people can't even handle that, man. These people will mess around and take somebody's lives at the same time, take their own life, man. Because, they rely on Egypt, right? They rely on Egypt and trust in the shadow of Egypt. Your confusion. And the trust in the shadow of Egypt, your confusion, right? Not only do they feel shame, but they're confused. They're like that Edomite lady right there, like freaking out. What the fuck? I'm white. I thought you said I was white. I'm an Edomite. Okay? Why me? You said not me. Well, guess what? The devil lied. Are you surprised? You got to be a fool to rely on the shadow of Egypt, right? Woe to the rebellious children, said Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai, that take counsel, but not of me, and that cover with a covering, but not of my spirit, right? They're trying to take cover on that damn wicked ass, selfish, heathen spirit. That's who they following, right? That's who they taking counsel from. Them damn Edomites and Pharaoh. That they may add sin to sin, right? On top of the fact that you live in sinful, you're gonna keep adding even more sin on top of that. So as long as you're under the covering of Egypt, of Babylon the Great, okay? And that's wicked, man. And that's why you're getting the judgment that you're getting. Okay? And they want to justify everything as long as it ain't them. They want to say, oh, it's all good. That ain't nothing wrong with it. All of a sudden, those other individuals are criminals, and I'm Mr. Goody Two Shoe, right? But it's okay if they gather up people into concentration camps and ultimately set them up for death. It's okay as long as it ain't me. That me, myself, and I type of spirit that flows here in Babylon the Great. All right, let's go to Isaiah 5:20. Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. Okay, woe unto them. And it's major woes going on right now, major woes are going on right now, man. You got rumors of war. You got the economy constantly just getting worse and worse. You got people that thought they weren't going to be detained or getting detained. You got people that don't even look like a so-called Negro, Latino, or Native Indigenous are getting harassed as well, because whether they have a last name or whatever the reason, man, the devil don't care. But now they want to, you know what I'm saying? They want to complain. I say, hold up, man. I thought the plan was, let's get the most vulnerable people, man. Let's bully them. I'm good with that. I'm okay with that. I'm all in with that, right? And starting with our own wicked ass Negroes, Latinos, and Native Indigenous, our own damn wicked ass people want to get down with that, right?
We want to go live out to Kerrville, Texas this morning. That's where Fox Weather's Katie Byrne is at this morning. And Katie, the big concern moving forward is more rain is in the forecast.
It's true, Michael, and that rain is actually starting up already just in the last 15 minutes or so. It's coming down very lightly, but really any one thunderstorm could cause flooding again for a region that's already saturated here in the hill country. It has recovery crews a bit on edge, knowing that it could impact their efforts today. A lot of them we just saw make their way into the brush right over here. There were a number of crews that came from Nevada, actually dozens of them making their way in. I was talking to them about what it looks like once you get inside. They said, I'm not dressed appropriately. You need to be covered from head to toe because you're walking through mud. There are snakes, he says. There are all kinds of mosquitoes, bugs, and wildlife that they're running into as well. People are being told to wear hiking gear, and all of them were wearing helmets as they made their way into this area to keep searching for all of the people who are still missing. We've got this rain that people are paying attention to, which is tragic because some of these hardest hit towns across the hill country already picked up a summer's worth of rain in just a day last week, in just hours in a day last week, when intense rainfall led to catastrophic flooding, with the Guadalupe River behind me rising 26 feet in 45 minutes. It lifted nearby homes, RVs, summer camp cabins off of their foundations.
Slovakia, give me 1 second. I don't know why it's got it in. It's got
Sent them floating down the river, in some cases with people, entire families floating in them with it and entirely swept away. We spoke with United Cajun Navy search volunteers on the ground as they sorted through these mountains of dense debris piles in the riverbanks yesterday. They say any incoming rain would be a setback.
Hopefully the rain will hold off because that'll just continue to push our operations further behind.
It's going to be it'll be another setback. Things are constantly changing down here though, and whatever does happen, we're going to roll with the punches and we're going to keep pushing.
As crews enter their second week now of searching, we know people are starting to try and process the grief that they're dealing with. It's unimaginable on the ground, and we're seeing things like massive crosses show up to help people process this. One is now right by Camp Mystic, which is in Hunt, Texas, about 10 miles away from us. We're downstream of it over in Kerrville, but that area is still largely cut off, with mainly first responders the only ones allowed in, as the search efforts are overwhelming in that area. But I mean, we are 10 miles away. Yesterday, we were 10 miles even further down in Center Point. And so I could tell you a 30, 40-mile stretch is being covered. This is a vast, widespread search area for these crews who are trying to find all of the people who are still missing. I'll send it back to you.
Yeah, Katie, the scale of the recovery operations, to your point, is just massive. From what you've seen on the ground truth, do you feel that there's enough resources, personnel, specialized equipment for the recovery process as of this moment?
There are tons of resources on the ground for people. If you drive all the way through, there's this main road, 39, I believe it is, and you'll pass people who are setting up free food stands. There's also FEMA resources on the ground now. But as far as the first responders, there's at least 2,000 of them who are doing that work of trying to find these missing people. And then there's just people showing up who want to help in these search efforts, which officials say, yes, we'll use your help, but make sure you check in with some of these command centers that they have set up. Most of them are at the local fire department. So you're going to want to go there and just let somebody know so they can position you in some of the areas that they're searching. It's not hard to find these search crews as they are out. You just have to drive along the river and you will see them making their way through the riverbanks. That's what this Nevada team told me that they were doing today. They went into the brush here and they are with a cadaver dog and they are just making their way through and trying to clear as much of the debris as possible. We're starting to notice orange markings on debris, alerting people that this is a pile that has been cleared, but there are just so many of them. And just it is a vast amount of area that they have to cover to try to recover all of these people.
Absolutely. It's good to know that the resources are certainly in place, and the spirit of Kerrville, of course, will endure. Fox weather correspondent Katie Byrne. Katie, thank you so much for the update. And at home, if you'd like to help those that have been impacted, you can, of course, head to Fox/TX Flood Relief or scan that QR code on the bottom right of your screen.
All right, so you saw that, you heard that. 129 reported dead in Texas floods. Right now, 129, and there's hundreds of other people that haven't been found yet. So the death toll will continue as the days go on. There you have it, all types of judgment, and a lot of these anti-Christians, they don't want to hear that, right? Because they believe a lovey-dovey God and a pushover like JC, that you could just do whatever the hell you want, be wicked as hell, set up snares for other people to get killed, incarcerated, and you thinking Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua is just going to let you just sit pretty deliciously, right? In the shade somewhere, sipping on some lemonade, okay? You are sadly mistaken. And, the wicked, the hard-headed got to believe it. They got to feel it to believe it, okay? Let's go here to Amos 3 and 6. Shall a trumpet be blown in the city, and the people not be afraid? Shall there be evil in a city, and the Lord had not done it? Okay? All this wickedness, all this stuff that's going on, people setting up snares for other people, okay? And rejoicing in it, and end up falling themselves in that snare. It's all the work of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, okay? Because spiritual demon Satan is controlled by Yahweh, right? If you ever read the book of Job, that whole book talks about how Satan had the authority given by Yahweh, right? And this is a pretty basic spiritual milk to those who believe this 100% true gospel, okay? Read the book of Job. That whole book talks about how he was given permission, okay? Spiritual demon Satan doesn't do anything unless he's told, okay? He's obedient. If anything, he's an angel on the left-hand side, okay? So all these people getting played, by a higher ranking demon. Pharaoh got played. And all these little minion demons out here, all crying and hurt, all sad and shit, because they're about to lose their farm, or some people died, or some of their family members, that are Edomites, getting arrested, maybe even sent to some of these damn detention centers mistakenly, or whatever it may be. Everybody's feeling the wrath of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. Okay? And that's a beautiful thing. All right? That's a beautiful thing, because that lets you know how righteous Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua. He's gonna slay the hell out of, on an even playing field, or all the demographics, or all the crayons, bro, that y'all love to talk about so much. Okay, except the true men and women who serve Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua with humility and sincerity. Okay, his hopeful elect will be the only ones. All right, because they serve Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua with humility and sincerity. Okay, and they fear the true power, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, which is Yahweh. Okay, so anyways, I just wanted to speak on that. And Yahweh willing, this was edifying to the hopeful elect. Before I go, I want to give all praises, all glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rahakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS who are preaching and teaching this truth with humility and sincerity across the four corners of the world to so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Indigenous of the Americas, and the speckled bird that are amongst those other nations that look like those from those heathen nations, but their lineage goes back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob as well. Shalom.